Hey, welcome to Saturday Strolling with the Orchids. The weatherman got it correct. It is the 28th of October, 2023, and it is the first snow of the season. Not looking forward to the rest of this autumn/winter. As you can see, we're looking at my beautiful rose bush covered in snow, and my rose bushes bloomed late this year. Anybody else's rose bushes bloom late? I'm just curious, because I have that one and then this one over here as well. Now most of those were already going over, so I wasn't too worried, but there is that little bud there. Well, we'll have to wait till next spring and see what they do. But let's get started with our beautiful orchids here. Now, for those of you who didn't see my post, these two orchids sit right there. However, Ghost, who is my daughter's puppy, does not realize his size. So when we walk in that door, he gets excited and that tail just goes ch-ch-ch-ch-ch. Well, he ended up knocking these two over last night. Wasn't any damage. There were a couple of leaves that got broken and bent, but as far as like major damage, nothing major happened. And poor Loki's bed was just full of bark and moss from that plant and bark from that one. So I've decided to put them on this stool right now until he kind of figures out his size and what to do with it. But I am going to have to move this stool from here. I just don't know where to put it. Yep, I've been watering this morning. I don't know where to put it, so we'll figure that out later. I did want to show you guys real quick. So this Zygonicia Sensor Blue, this spike, the blooms are going over. But this is what they look like when they're nice and fresh. Can you kind of see the difference? See how much bolder the colors are as opposed to the one up there on the left? But that is, and mine doesn't smell. I haven't really, shame on me because I haven't researched if the Sensor Blue smells, but I know most Zygopetalum Zygonicia do have a scent. So I just don't know if maybe this one just doesn't. Let me know if you have the Sensor Bluebird and if yours has a scent to it, and mine's just taking a day off. But the Murasakis back there are doing really well. As you can see, this leaf right here is starting to go up behind the picture. As a matter of fact, let me just pull it out. There we go. This way it doesn't get stuck back there. My Montana Blue Sky is not developing roots yet, but where is that one growth? I have to take it off the wall. There it is. See that new growth right there? Let's see, right there, developing. So that's nice. And I've realized I need to water this one a lot more, even though I've added the moss on there. I do need to water her a little more than what I've been watering her. And then the Japonica back here, moved it a little bit closer to the window, because even though it doesn't get cold, it is cooler on that side than it is up here in the front. I will be giving her a drier fall, winter. I'm not going to keep her totally dry like you would in Nobly, but I am going to give her a drier winter this year, see if I can get some blooms from her next spring. And then the Christmas cactus here is still getting watered. I will stop watering her next month, November. The two Schillerianas just kind of sitting there, but I did notice the other day on this one, whoa, so much going on over here. We have, let's see if I can get it into the light. There we go. We have a gorgeous new root coming up. So need to be very diligent about that and not move her too much where that root breaks. These two, like I said, are doing fine. And it was the Miltonia spectabilis and the No ID Oncidium that had fallen over. The Mutu King is just working on her leaf. The No ID Vanda that I got from Ken over at Orchid Supply Store, still doing fine. I don't water her every day. I've been watering her about once a week because she did come bare root and she is in a large and medium bark mix with some perlite. And by the way, if you'd like to get a 12% discount, be sure to go to the Orchid Supply Store and use coupon code TRISH at checkout. Any amount, and you can use it multiple times. Now this one is Copper Queen, so this growth and this growth and this growth she grew this past season. They are starting to mature, so maybe we might get a spike out of her because I did buy her in spike, so I know she's blooming size. And I've had her, I want to say at least 2 years. No, I got her in 22. For some reason, I thought I got her in 21, so I've only had her for a year. Maybe next year. She may still be acclimating to my style. The Paphiopedilum back here, let's see if we can get her out, is working on that beautiful bud there. Do you see that? Isn't that beautiful? Now this is the Macrobay Pops. She is the white with the green, more green on her. And then this one, let's just bring it over here, is the Spicerianum. And as you can see, she has started to swell. So maybe next Saturday we'll see her in bloom. If not next Saturday, definitely the week after. And then I am a little stuffy today, so I do apologize if I sound a little weird. But we do have a new leaf coming out on my Bellina Wild Type there. And then this one here is another one of those, what they call the Perfume Factory orchid. And this is the Dusty Rose. I did find it at my local grocery store, so keep a lookout. This one doesn't, I mean, there's a slight scent, but I don't smell it as strongly as I do the Sentian. So for those of you who watch Nina over on Ninja's Orchids, this is her Aurora. This is the one that she calls Aurora. So if you are in the grocery store and you see the spotting on the leaves, that is one of the, what they call the Perfume Factory orchids. At least that's what I've been seeing it called. And if you would like your own Aurora, it is this one. Now this one does remind me of, for those of you who use Carpet Fresh before you vacuum, it kind of reminds me of a Carpet Fresh scent. Very, very pleasant smell, very pleasant smell. Falcata over here is, I moved her away from the window because I did put my Unicum over where the Falcata used to grow, because doing a little bit of research, it does like an east-facing light. And since this is the east-facing window, I put her over here. And that older cane right there that she came with is losing its leaves, but the other two new growths are continuing to grow. So I will continue to feed and water that one throughout the season. And you know what? Let me see if I can get in here without making a big mess. Got a lot going on in here today. But look at this. Look at her gorgeousness. Look at that. I love, it's almost like she has little moles. You know, when you get older and you get the moles on your face, that's what that reminds me of. Isn't she beautiful? That beautiful Merlot slipper. And then her hood. Look how gorgeous that is. Oh, she's beautiful, just beautiful. And she has started a new growth. If I can get right there. No, not on that side. She does have a new growth on her. I just can't find it right now. It's probably down deep in there, and because of how I'm holding her, I cannot get her to show. So let me just fix the leaf here. One sec. There we go. And then my Mel Star, just doing new growths. I don't see any buds coming up on her. Oh, and look what we've got coming up on the Hariella retrocala inside the terrarium. She's going to go ahead and bloom for us. Still thinking of what I want to do with that. I want to redo it. I'm going to leave the Hariella in there and probably the smaller Macotis. I just don't know what else I want to put in there at the moment. My Cornucervi Chateladay is not doing anything except for, of course, growing a root. Let's see, which one is that? Get it into focus. The After Dark is starting to swell a little bit. So I don't care if she blooms. I just want her to develop some more strength because the two back bulbs aren't very big. This is what she grew last year. Of course, I did get her kind of late in the season, but this is what she grew last year. And then this year is much bigger, so I'm expecting it to be even bigger next year. And then our no ID that we got from Ken, also at the Orchid Supply Store. This is, I believe, from his wife's collection. That spike is really starting to stretch towards the window. And I was hoping Miss Zelda would have showed us her loveliness, but she's going to hold out for another week. Then, excuse me, over here, we don't have much going on with the Sweet Memory. Does look like she's going to try to bud again. And then this leaf, I did restrap it because it was starting to go back down. Hadn't quite hardened off like I thought it would. And then the maxillaria back here is starting to develop her bulb right here. And then the other maxillaria, that one was the tenifolia. This is that one, and I call this one Spotty. So the two new growths you see right there on the right that she came with are doing well. And then the latest new growth that she's pushed out since I put her in this burlap basket is also doing well. Sad news, I do believe my little Stanhope up here is gone. So I'll have to keep a lookout for another one. That one growth that I thought was going to make it, it's not. It's not. And then Sherry Baby has finished this growth right here. So probably in a few weeks we should see some spikes coming up off to the side. And then the next growth that we'll be completing, is that one right there. Of course, it's still a ways off. She hasn't even started developing her bulb yet. But the new growth that I found a couple of weeks ago is really taking off. This one right here, look at that. She was really tiny last week. Well, a couple of weeks ago. We didn't do one last week because somebody wasn't feeling well. Oh, and my Phalaenopsis dendrobium that I grew outside this past season, and she grew this monstrosity right here, which I'm so proud of. Look what we've got coming. Boop, boop, boop. We got us a little spiky spike coming. So we will finally get to see what she looks like. And then this one here, I treated her poorly. I let her dry out way too much. So I will be taking her out of this because it is now way too large. At the time she had, I believe it was 7 to 9 new growths when I put her in there, and I let it dry out and new growths. Well, we all know what happens. And the leaves that you see senescing are off of the oldest bulbs. But she does have that nice growth right there. So she'll be going into a smaller pot in the next day or so. Down here, did move this, what is this, the tiny honey, DTPS tiny honey. I moved her down here because I had her here and this leaf was sticking out too much and kept getting bumped, and I was afraid she's going to get knocked over and damaged. So I just moved this one over. This is one of our ICPU orchids. And this one here came with the haul that is Ken's wife. Some of hers, that leaf is doing really well. And as you can see, she's got lots and lots of roots coming in there. This one here is just, that one is going to go into our Denver office in the spring. I was going to take her this year, but I want her to really fill up with some roots because she's only going to get cared for twice a week because we're only in that office twice a week. And I don't want her to, you know, be suffering. So I want her to kind of develop a better root system so she can be stronger. Not much going on with this one. And of course the Hyacinth is H-S-I-N. Is that Sin or Hassin? Let me know below. But anyway, she is developing this leaf rather nicely. I wish she would bloom because she has beautiful, beautiful blooms. If I can find pictures, which I'm not making any promises because I went through and got happy with deleting pictures a few months ago, and I think I deleted some I shouldn't have. Anywho. Oh, and then the Phalaenopsis dendrobium that we just looked at also has a new growth coming. So she's just going to be an overachiever now. She's like, well, I grew this ginormous cane for you. So now I'm going to start a cane, grow roots, as you can see, and I'm going to develop you a spike. And then my Direct Brown, Super Brown, I did recently just water her, but that fan right there is doing well. And as you can see right there at the bottom, let's see, bottom right maybe, that new growth is coming along nicely. My African violets in their little lovely bloom. Look at this. Love that. And then I love the ruffling on this one. Let me see if I can get her where she's not, so you can really see her. Let me get her out of the glare. Well, maybe not right there. There we go. Now you can kind of see what she looks like. I'm going to put some shadow on her. Look at those spots. Those spots are so pretty. Look at this. And you can see the crystalline. Isn't that beautiful? Just beautiful. I think they're a great complement to orchids, as are Hoyas. We might look at a couple of the Hoyas I have. My Elastica here is doing fine, aka rubber tree plant. And my Nobly. I probably shouldn't be growing this. I'm not taking care of it the way it should be. It still has lots of new growths. I'm not watering it as often as I should. So there is that. Anything going on over here? My Lycaste, look at the bulb on it. Look at the bulb on this girl. Look at that. She broke one leaf growing in. I just love that bulb. So as long as she develops those bulbs and continues to maintain strength, that is what we are looking for. And look at the spike on, is it super spotty or is it just spotty? Just spotty. Okay, it's a Trillium, but look at the spike. Look at that. We could barely see it a couple of weeks ago. So I moved her over here to make room, and she is growing towards the light like I want her to. And look how much Kingianum's growths have grown. Look at that. All of them are just shooting up. Loving that. My Miltossia, her bulb. Let's see if we can do this without messing up too much. Look at that bulb. That is just beautiful. Much, much bigger than the previous, which is right next to it. So she's a little bit taller. Not much, but enough. And then my Paparata back there, that growth is doing well. And she does have another growth on the other side. I will have to show you guys that. And then this one here is the Isabella. I did strap the new growths so that they would grow up, so I can avoid this. What else? What else? I want to take down the Red Fantasy Sherry Baby, and I want to dig for spikes. So I will do that before I post the video, and then somewhere on the screen I'll put whether I found any or not. And then the No ID Oncidium here, again, she has, I believe I counted like 10 new growths on her. And then Limagera up there is growing her leaf, trying to push out some more bulbs. And then the Taganagua here, look at this new growth. Isn't that beautiful? Just gorgeous. The other one, my Green Flash, is not doing so well. And my Vanda right here. This is the, let me grab right there. That's the Colmarie. Well, I'm loving this root. Loving it. I may have to turn it around because, again, Ghost does not know his size, and I'm afraid when he gets a little bit too longer, he might knock it off. So I am keeping an eye on that, and if it extends past the basket, then I'll move it. But right now, we have a little ways to go. So here's where it starts. So we have about a finger length left before it gets out of the way. And we have 2 lights. I don't know if they blew out because I can't see both lights blowing out at the same time, or if perhaps they became unplugged because they are plugged in behind. But just in case, I do have another set of lighting just in case, so I can get these girls back up and running. Lots and lots of loveliness here. So my Sagreek Wax Silk Ball, there is still, so the bud was down here 2 weeks ago. I feel it up here now, and this sheath is starting to dry out, so hopefully she'll push through that soon. This, which one is this? This is the Lady Zip. That sheath is coming nice and strong, as well as that. And I did strap her up because she was trying to grow back. Kind of don't want her to do that. What else do we have going on over here? Oh, Pink doll. Look at the roots coming out on the pink doll. She is really exploding with roots, and we have a new growth. I just noticed that. And then my white cattleya here is going over. So these lasted about 3 weeks. So I will be cutting them off here in the next few minutes as soon as I get done. I just noticed that they were going over. Haven't really looked at this shelf too much this past week, but she bloomed around the beginning of this month, October. Look at the strength on this one. Look at that. I've had this since 2019, and this past year she has put on this growth right here and this one here, as well as filling in the pot with some roots. And then the green leopard here has this new growth, which is coming off of an older cane, because this is its latest growth. And I do feel a little swelling right here, so I'm expecting a new growth to shoot out of it pretty soon. And I thought I saw a new growth on my little snake plant here, but I might have just imagined it. Maybe I was just hoping for one, and I thought I saw one. But I did just put a little bit more bark just so that the roots as they're growing in don't get aerial, because from what I understand, these like their roots in the media instead of above it. And since having the cymbidium inside, I've actually kept it watered like it should. And as you can see, these leaves are not as strappy as they used to be. They're actually upright a little bit better. So she needs more moisture. And this growth looks like it's going to continue. The one on the right, I think it's gone. But this one on the left, I think is going to do well. And then we have that new growth right here in front of us, doing rather well also. And then this is my pink dendrobium. She didn't do well this season. I don't know what I did. Didn't really do anything different, I don't think. I don't remember, but she's not doing too well. So we'll have to wait till next year probably to see those pink blooms. My two cattleyas, and this is natural senescing. This is one of her oldest, actually her oldest cane that she has left on the plant. And that new growth, if I can move these out of the way, is progressing rather nicely. And then this one here, the new growths are doing well. I do need to water though, because these leaves are rather floppy. Let's go back over here under the bottom shelf here, and did a little bit of rearranging down here. So I did move one of my birthday orchids, the Schilleriana, the Cattleya Schilleriana, crossed back to self down here, because it does want that brighter light. And let me just show you guys. I did put her in her permanent home because we do have that new growth, but more importantly, look at that beautiful root coming out. And I put her in here about a week ago because I did see the little nubbins starting. It looks like we got roots coming on an older growth too there. But she does have those new roots coming. And from what I've read, they prefer really high light. And with this anthocyanin on there, I think she's getting the right amount. Normally, she would be sitting right here. And then, let's see, we do have, let's pull this one out. This is my candy stripe here. One of the ones I bought at the Orchid Show. But she has what I thought were roots are actually, I mean, there are roots, but there's a new growth on that side. And we have lots of roots going down into the media there. So I may repot this one because this one I'm pretty sure has moss in the middle that I'm not really wanting in the middle. So may repot her sooner rather than later now that I see all that root activity in there. And nothing much going, oh, wait, there is something going on this shelf. Let me move some things out of the way real quick. And the Angraecum, look at that leaf while we have her out. Look at that, doing wonderful. But let me just pull this bad girl out. So this is the Jiho Pink Girl. We have a root, but what else do we have coming? Boom, 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 boom. We have a spike. And I don't know if you remember me saying this a couple of weeks ago, but I was saying that I think that the pink flower up against these dark green leaves is going to look amazing. So we'll just have to wait and see. And I'll have to watch how that spike grows because I want it growing to the front, not the back. Not the back. Let me just move those over a little bit. And this one right here, which is the one that has the orangey flowers that I got from, I believe it was Big Leaf Orchids. Look at the roots going down in that pot. Look at those. I love it. Love, love, love this thing. Just love it. Flowers really weren't that amazing to me. I mean, they were pretty, but I love the way she's growing more than anything. What else? Ah, look who decided to grace us with a bloom. Look at there. Isn't that? I don't know. It's pretty coloring, but look how she's growing. Like she's been windblown or something. Look at that. I don't remember them being that way the last time. So I'm not sure if that's normal or if some kind of a glitch. And that is the Jiho Summer Love fragrant. Don't smell the fragrance. And my hieroglyphica is starting to lose her buds. That's fine. And look at this. She's just extending. That's my summer rose. She's just extending. She's like, let me just keep blooming. And I'm going to work on a leaf for you. Anything else exciting going on up here? Nothing that I can see. Of course, I'm not standing on my stool that I normally stand on. This Bellina is starting to grow a nice new leaf. And then we still have the Speciosa in bloom right there. And then let's just mosey on over here real quick. Let me show you guys something. Let me get out of the lighting here. But look what we have. Can you see it? We have a beautiful new leaf coming in on this Tetraspis Wilson. And this leaf hasn't even hardened off yet. I'm loving that. Loving, loving that. And then this No ID has a lovely spike coming up on it. And down here, where do we, oh, this is what happens when you water in a hurry, guys. So I was not paying attention. I was just using my little watering can and pouring some water in here quickly, and I apparently got water in the crown. So she is no more. No more. And then this one is the Violacea that I moved down here to a little bit brighter light. And then Andrea back here also has a beautiful spike coming. And this is actually a keiki off of the original plant. She does have a leaf as well. So she is just enjoying her little life down there. And then this is Iris. We repotted her a few weeks ago. Let's see, when did we repot her? Was it this month or last month? It was last month. And this is the keiki. So she's still kind of settling in. I expect she'll start doing something here in the next few weeks because if you look right there, do you see that root is trying to activate? So I believe some roots are coming our way. And she is a root producer once she gets going. Let me pick these up so the pups won't eat it. And these guys, Fembrata. The bane of my existence right now. She looks a little sad. It's because she is. She doesn't have much going for her right now. I did cut off both spikes that she had. And she has one root in here somewhere. I'm not going to move her around too much. That I'm hoping will keep her going until she decides to do something. And right now she's decided she's not doing anything. So she stays drier rather than damp. And then we have this Equestris here that is working on her leaf there. And those roots are getting ready to activate as well. Another thing I noticed when they go to activate is, see how shiny that root is? I've kind of been watching, and it seems when they get ready to activate, those roots start shining up. And when they're not growing, they're kind of a little more dull. Let me know if you find that same experience. It's one of my Hoya cuttings that fell off. And over here, we're going to finish. Yep, I'm using the cage part of my holding area. But this is the No ID. I think this is a Zygonesia. I don't think this is a Zygopetalum, but either way it goes, that growth is just coming right on along. And then this one down here, I may have to move her. She's growing weird. And I don't know if it's because of how the light is or what. I don't think she's getting enough. I may have to move her in the front and put the African violet in the back. I don't know. I'll play around with that later. And then, is there anything else we were going? Yes, it needs water. These guys up here are doing just fine as well. I believe that one had the one that didn't have a root. Do you guys see anything? I'm on my tippy toes trying to see. I don't see anything. Okay. Well, I don't know what else to show you guys, so I'm going to end it here. You guys have a beautiful day. I'll see you next time.